Hey there, Carl again for the Utah Outliers. Today we're going to go into our fifth sports nutrition education module, which is a very important one, and it's post-game, pre-game, and also in-game nutrition. That was one of the most popular one on the topics you guys want to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is breakfast, right? Because breakfast, we all know, is the most important meal of the day, right? So just to give you guys an option, I mean, a lot of times breakfast is the one meal that's kind of like, oh, let's not care too much about it. But honestly, because a lot of people most of the time don't have enough time to prepare a good breakfast in the morning, right? So if we compare these two options, obviously we know one is better than the other, right? So I'm not going to tell you the answer. You guys can comment under it, but I'm sure you guys are going to be smart enough to know which one it is. And also, you got to make sure that every time you eat, you got to think about performance, right? Does that help me to perform better? So moving on the breakfast. So again, breakfast of champions, right? Breakfast, like the term says it breaks the fast overnight, or breaks the overnight fast, right? So it's really important that you haven't ate for about 8 hours. So the first meal you need to get after that long fasting period is going to be really important, right? So what we want for a good breakfast is fiber plus protein. That way it's going to give us a longer lasting energy, right? So those are just some combinations that you guys can try. So cereal, fruits and milk, oatmeal, fruits and nuts. Again, I'm not going to go all over all of them, but again, just to give you guys some options of what you can do in the morning, okay? During game day, my main thing is always no nutrition. You want to be familiar with food that you're used to eating, because if you try to introduce new food, it might not really go so well. So like the slider is saying, try it before in practice to make sure that your body processes the food properly. Stick with familiar food that your body can, that your body can digest, and also pick lean protein. Try to limit high fat items, but most important thing, focus on healthy carbs, right? Like we mentioned in the first module, healthy carb, we're talking about pasta, rice, whole wheat, obviously a little bit better, but focus on those main carbs. Try to avoid, baked goods or baked or item with high sugar content, all right, or added sugar content. Just to give you guys an idea, so your main meal before your game should be 3 to 4 hours before competition. So we're looking for all high quality carbs and the lean protein. Again, low in fiber and fat, because those might have GI distress, and we don't want that. We're trying to avoid any kind of stomach problems. And drink 17 to 20 ounces of water or a sports drink. So to give you guys an idea, this is about 17 ounces, so at least that 3 to 4 hours before. And again, hydration plan we talked about in the hydration module. Make sure it's steady throughout the day. And for you hockey players, obviously, this is about 32 ounces, so that would be a good amount of water to get before the game. As you get closer to the game, a snack 30 minutes to an hour before exercise is usually recommended, because if we go for too long without eating, we might get fatigue earlier, or our glycogen storage might be depleted. So again, high in carbs, moderate in protein, and low in fat and fiber. Granola bars and bananas were great. And just to give you guys an idea here, I mean, if you have a bowl of pasta with chicken would be great. Also, a side salad would be awesome, and a glass of water would be a great example of a pre-game meal. Between period and practices, you guys never be hungry. Okay, bring carbs with you if you're one of the person or one of the player that kind of feel hungry throughout practice, but something you can digest well. And again, make sure you drink 5 to 10 ounces every 15 to 20 minutes during practice. You can try, a banana is good, peanut butter and jelly sandwich if you want to do that, with jam or honey. Goldfish is actually a pretty good example too, that are a type of food that's really easy to digest, but you can pick, all right? Again, make sure your body knows how to process it, and if you want to try it in practice first. And again, too little or too much carbs can result in cramping or other stomach problems, so let's try to avoid that. Again, a little bit smarter, right? You need to be planning ahead of time, obviously. we've been over the hard training plate before, so that's on a game day, or if you guys have even 2 games a day, that should be a good example on how your breakfast, lunch, and dinner kind of look like. So half of your plate should be grains again, so rice, potatoes, cereals, and bread. Focus on whole wheat bread, pasta, bagel, and granola. As far as protein goes, about 25% of your plate, lean meat, cheese, eggs, and a little bit of fat, but not too much, so we can focus on nuts, olive oil, and nut butter. Again, healthy source of fat. And having fruit and vegetable throughout the day is going to be really beneficial as well. And it's important to mention that water is not the only way you can hydrate, right? So if we look at fruit and vegetables, those are really high in water content, and that can help you to stay hydrated if you feel like you're drinking too much, right? So keep that in mind. Then after the workout, I want you guys to remember the 3 R's, all right? So replenish, repair, and rehydrate. That should be what's in your mind as soon as you're done exercising or as soon as you're done with the game. So when we say replenish, we want to replenish our glycogen store that we burned throughout the exercise. Repairing, we want to repair damage that has been done through working out or on the ice, getting banged up and getting pushed around by giving your body quality protein and having those amino acid building blocks to repair the broken down muscles. And lastly, rehydrate, right? The body normal water to rehydrate to bring the body to the normal water content. Okay, so again, if you guys want to know how much weight you lose during practice or game, feel free to weigh yourself before and after. And every pound you lose, it's 16 to 24 ounces. Okay. So food for post practice and game. What food? Again, you want to focus on carbs and protein, and you want a 4-to-1 ratio. So if you have 1 gram of protein, you need 4 grams of carbs to compensate. Okay, that's the research has shown that that's the best ratio, and you want to do it as close as possible after the game. So we're looking about a 30-minute time frame. For a snack, low-fat chocolate milk is really good. And the chocolate milk actually has natural sugar in it that helps you replenish your glycogen store, and your body absorbs it faster. And it has a 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio as well, so that's a really good one. High protein energy bar is good. Yogurt and granola is also another example. And then about 2 hours after your match, you got your snack down, 2 hours after should be your main meal afterwards. So. Just an example of a meal if you're on the road, it could be a 6 or 12-inch sub with ham, turkey, mozzarella, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and any type of sauce. So try to avoid high-fat sauce. 1 individual bag of baked chips, 1 fruit cup or oatmeal cookie. And then again, water is important with 16 to 24 ounces per pound that you lost in sweat. So that was it for the pre, post, and in-game nutrition. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. I can send you guys some handouts. But again, planning is key, okay? So kind of the next topic is going to tie along with the one I just did, and it's eating on the road and eating during tournaments and where, you're not at home so much. So I'll see you guys on the next module, and hopefully you'll learn again. Thank you.